Kamoltanii barattoota nagaa keessanii barattoota barnoota hiistirii kutaa 11ffaa qayyabannaa jalqabuu keenya ni yaadatama. Kunoo viidiyoo kana keessatti waa'ee hiistirii, historiography fi human evolution jedhan irratti gaaffilee qormaata intiraansii irratti akkasumas qormaata daree keessanii irratti miidii faayinaalii irratti fi teestii irratti dhufuu danda'an isiniif qabadhee dhiyaadheera. Kanaafuu GO lesson 17 TUB miseensa kan hin ta'in subscribe gochuun miseensa keenya taatanii nu waliin bu'aa barnoota keessan irraa argachuu qabdan akka dhugoomfattan gamanumaan isin affeerra. እንደምናችሁ ተማሪዎች ሰላም ናችሁ? ተማሪዎች ለዘንድሮ የትምህርት ዓመት ሂስትሪን ከወትሮው አጠናክረን እየሰራን መሆኑ ይታወቃል። በዚህ ቪዲዮ ውስጥ ምዕራፍ 1 የ11ኛን ክፍል ሂስትሪ፣ ሂስቶሪዮግራፊ እና ሂውማን ኢቮሉሽን ከሚሉ በጣም ወሳኝ የሆኑ ጥያቄዎች በኢንትራንስ ኤግዛም፣ በሚድ፣ በፋይናል እና በቴስት መምጣት የሚችሉ ጥያቄዎችን ከበቂ ማብራሪያ ጋር ይዤላችሁ ቀርቤያለሁኝ። ለዚህ የጂኦ ሌሰን 17 ቲዩብ ቤተሰብ ያልሆናችሁ ጂኦ ሌሰን 17 ቲዩብን ሰብስክራይብ በማድረግ ተቀላቅለው ቤተሰብ በመሆን ከኛ ጋር ያጥኑ ስንል የሁል ጊዜ ግብዣችን ነው። Question number 1. What is a term historiography represent? A. It is the study of ancient ruins. B. Is the writing and interpretation of history. C. It is the collection of old artifacts. D. It is the memorization of historical dates. Good. Ruins are archaeology, so it is not historiography. Artifacts are again archaeological, like that of museum studies. Memorization is a history learning, is also not a historiography. But historiography means the method and interpretations historians use when writing history. Historiography means the writing and interpretation of history. B is the correct answer. Question number 2. Who is known as the father of history? A. Herodotus. B. Aristotle. C. Homer. D. Thucydides. Students, have you said Herodotus? If you have said that, you are correct. Herodotus is known as the father of history. Barattoota deebii keessan jettaniittu baay'ee gaariidha. Here, Aristotle is a philosopher, not historian. So, B is not the correct answer. Homer is a poet laureate known with the title of Odyssey. Homer walaleessaadha. Mata duree walaloo Odyssey jedhamuun beekama. Malee nama seenaa miti jechuudha. Thucydides is a historian, but known for a scientific history, not the father of history. Herodotus, starting from 5th century BC, wrote histories regarded as the first systematic historical work. As a result, he have said to be a father of history. Question number 3. Which of the following best distinguishes history from legend? A. The use of supernatural explanation. B. Reliance on verified evidence. C. Oral transmission of stories. D. Teaching of moral lessons. Okay, history relies on verified evidence. So, is based on evidence while legends are often unverifiable. As a result, B is again the correct answer concerning to history, while supernatural is legend, not history. Oral transmission is a common in legend or folklore. Again, morals, myths, legends aim at that, not history. Question number 5. Which historian focused on a scientific approach, avoiding myths? A. Herodotus. B. Thucydides. C. Livy. D. Josephus. Here, Herodotus mixed myths with fact, so is not the answer. Livy, a Roman historian who was less scientific. Josephus was also the Jewish historian, not central to the idea. So, Thucydides was a historian who focused on a scientific approach by avoiding myths. He emphasized on factual accuracy and the cause and the effect. B is the correct answer. Question number 6. Which factor played the biggest role in the emergence of states? A. Hunting and gathering. B. Agricultural surplus. C. Nomadic lifestyle. D. Stone tool making. Deebiin keessan sirrii agriculture surplus ta'a jettaniittu sirriidha. Okay? Agricultural surplus was the major factor that played a biggest role in the emergence of states. Here, hunting and gathering as well as nomadic lifestyle limits population growth that hinders the appearance of or the emergence of states. Stone tool making is a part of the emergence of states, but is not as much as the agricultural surplus. So, B is the correct answer. Surplus farming supported larger populations leading to states. Okay? Hojiin qonnaa bu'aa qabeessummaansaa yeroo daran dabalaa dhufu namni wabii nyaataa isaa mirkaneeffata waan ta'eedhaaf wal horuudhaaf uummanni akka baay'atuudhaaf sababa ta'a. Itti aansee stone tool making dhagaarraa ibidda uummachuu meeshaalee uummachuunis sababa ta'a garuu haga qonnaa ta'uu hin danda'u. Yoo namni jiraate dhagaa irraa waa tolfachuu danda'a waan ta'eedhaaf namni akka jiraatuudhaaf immoo hojiin qonnaa bu'aa qabeessummaan isaa mirkanaa'uu qaba. Warreen kaan garuu sirrii miti jechuudha. Question number 7. The earliest states in human history emerged in A. Mesopotamia and Egypt. B. Greece and Rome. C. China and Japan. D. Europe. Mootoliin yeroo jalqabaa seenaa ilma namaa keessatti kan mul'atan eessatti dhaadha? Greece or Rome are becomes later classical states. So is not for the first emergence of the states. China developed later states. Japan becomes later still. Europe is too late. So, question number 8. Which theory explains the state as arising from warfare and conquest? A. Divine right theory. B. Social contract theory. C. Force theory. D. Evolutionary theory. Mootoleen waraanaa fi koloneeffannoo irraa ka'a jedhee tiyooriin ibsu kamii jechuu isaati. Good. Divine right believes that states emerges from God's will. Eeyyama waaqayyooti jedhanii amanu warri divine rightiin. Social contract is a voluntary agreement. Fedhiidhaan ta'a kun. Evolutionary is a gradual tribal development. Is not also the answer. The correct answer is C. Force theory. Force theory sees states forming through the military dominance. Hacuuccaa waraanaatiin aangoo qabachuu. Inni kun maal jedhama? Force theory jedhama. So, C is the correct answer. Question number 9. Which of the following is a key feature of a state? A. Kinship ties. B. Centralized authority. C. Nomadic traditions. D. Lack of laws. Kinship is a pre-state societies. Nomads are not state-based. They are economic. Laws exist in states. A state has government and centralized power. B is the correct answer. That states the key feature of states. Question number 10. The hydraulic theory, Carl Whitger argues that states form to A. Control armies. B. Manage irrigation system. C. Protect kinship groups. D. Spread religion. So, A is not the correct answer about the hydraulic theory. Kinship is too small scale. Is also not the correct idea about hydraulic theory. Religion is important, but it becomes the secondary one. B is the correct answer. Irrigation needs led to centralized authority in river valleys. So, manage irrigation system is the hydraulic theory. Question number 11. Which of the following is the best example of an early state? A. The Roman Empire. B. The Shang Dynasty. C. The Iroquois Confederacy. D. The Mongol nomads. Roman Empire becomes the latter empire, not the earlier. So is not the answer. Iroquois was the confederation, not the centralized states. Mongols are nomadic, not the early states. So D is also not the answer. But the Shang Dynasty of China during 600 BCE is an early state. So B is the correct answer. You need to major spots of ancient world civilization up to 500 AD. Number 1. Which river was central to the rise of ancient Egyptian civilization? A. Tigris. B. Euphrates. C. Nile. D. Congo. Tigris and Euphrates are rivers which are used for the rise of ancient Mesopotamia, not Egyptian civilization. Congo uses for the rise of Central Africa, not the base of early civilization. The Nile provided fertile land, irrigation, and transport for ancient Egypt. As a result, Nile River was central to the rise of ancient Egyptian civilization. C is the correct answer. Question number 2. The kingdom of Kush was located in present day of A. Ethiopia, B. Sudan, C. Libya, D. Egypt. Ethiopia is known with Aksum, not Kush, while Libya was known with Berber tribes, not Kush again. Egypt is north of Kush, distinct states. So, Kush or Nubia thrived south of Egypt in modern Sudan. Question number 3. Which ancient African kingdom converted to Christianity in the 4th century? A. Carthage, B. Kush, C. Aksum, D. Mali. Carthage was Phoenician colony, so destroyed earlier. As a result, A is not the answer. Kush was known for the pyramids, did not adopt Christianity. B is not the answer also. Mali was the medieval, which is much later. So, Aksum, Ethiopia adopted Christianity under the king of Izana during 330 AD. C is the correct answer. Question number 4. Carthage was a colony founded by which people? A. Greeks, B. Phoenicians, C. Romans, D. Egyptians. Ibsineerra mee deebiin keessan garuu maal ta'a? Greeks founded colonies, but not Carthage. Romans later destroyed Carthage during the Punic Wars. Egyptians influenced Africa, but not Carthage. So, Carthage was founded by Phoenician traders, who are the modern Lebanon. So, B is the correct answer. Question number 5. The pyramid of Giza were mainly built as A. Temples, B. Palaces, C. Tombs for pharaohs, D. Storage facilities. Temples were separate. Example, Karnak. So, A is not the answer. Palaces are built elsewhere, not pyramids. Pyramids of Giza were not warehouses. So, D is not the answer. The pyramid of Giza were mainly built as tombs for pharaohs. So, C is the correct. They were tombs reflecting Egyptian belief in afterlife. Lesson number 6. Which writing system developed in ancient Egypt? A. Cuneiform, B. Hieroglyphics, C. Latin, D. Sanskrit. Cuneiform was the writing system of Mesopotamia, while the writing system of Latin was Rome, and Sanskrit was the writing system of India. But hieroglyphics is the writing system of Egypt. Egyptian hieroglyphics were used for religious and state inscriptions. B is the correct answer. Number 7. Which is considered as the earliest known civilization in Asia? A. Harappan, Indus Valley, B. Shang Dynasty, C. Mauryan Empire, D. Gupta Empire. Good. Shang Dynasty, Mauryan Empire, and the Gupta Empire are the latter civilization in China and India. But the Indus Valley civilization, which is known as Harappan during 2500 BCE, predates the others. So, A is the correct answer. Question number 8. Confucianism originated in A. India, B. China, C. Persia, D. Japan. India is known with Buddhism or Hinduism. Persia, Zoroastrianism, while Japan is known with Shinto. So, Confucianism is China's. Confucius, during the year of 551 up to 479 BC, was a Chinese philosopher whose ideas shaped governance. So, B is the correct answer. Barattoota, warreen kana sirriitti dubbisuu fi qayyabachuu qabdu. Qormaata keessan miidii, faayinaalii, teestii, akkasumas intiraansii irratti dhufuu kan danda'ani waan ta'aniidhaaf. Question number 9. The Mauryan Empire was founded by A. Ashoka, B. Chandragupta Maurya, C. Harsha, D. Akbar. Good. Ashoka is his grandson, was the grandson of Mauryan expanded empire. Harsha is the later ruler of the 7th BC, while Akbar was Mughal emperor in 16th century. Chandragupta Maurya founded the Mauryan dynasty during 321 BC. So, B is the correct answer.
Chaanalii keessan Geolesson 17 Tube waan daawwattaniif galatooma. Geolesson 17 Tube chaanalaachun sila gobanyaachuu amasagganaalla. Geolesson 17 Tube chaanalii milkoomina egeree dhalootaaf dhimmu.